Have you ever thought about how criminals plan their next big move? Imagine scrolling through your social media feed, unaware that someone could be using the same platform to orchestrate a crime. Social media isn't just for selfies anymore. It's now a tool for criminals to communicate, strategize, and execute their plans. From bombings to drug cartels, platforms like Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter are being used to pull off daring crimes. In today's video, we'll reveal shocking stories of how criminals have mastered the art of planning crimes online. Trust me, you won't want to miss this. The 2013 Boston Marathon bombing, a digital trail of clues. Let's start with something that shook the world to its core, the 2013 Boston Marathon bombing. On April 15th, 2 bombs went off near the finish line, killing 3 people and injuring over 260 others. The shockwaves from this attack spread far and wide, but what you might not know is how social media played a huge part in both planning the attack and bringing the bombers to justice. The Zanay brothers, Tamerlan and Dzhokhar, were not exactly shy about their beliefs. They were active on Facebook, posting about their extremist views and updates on their daily lives. In a twisted way, they were using social media to connect with others who shared their ideology. Little did they know, those very posts would later help investigators track them down. In the aftermath of the bombing, the FBI turned to social media to help solve the case. They asked the public for photos and videos taken during the marathon, and people flooded Reddit and Twitter with theories and images. One photo, in particular, caught the attention of investigators, a man in a dark hoodie near the explosion site. Within hours, authorities had identified the Zanay brothers as the prime suspects, thanks to social media. Even Dzhokhar Zanay posted an image of himself from a hospital bed, confirming that he had survived. With social media evidence and traditional investigation techniques combined, authorities managed to track him down and capture him on April 19, 2013. Social media was key to solving one of the most devastating attacks in American history, showing both its dangerous and beneficial sides. The Mexican drug cartels, Facebook as a coordination tool. Now, let's talk about Mexican drug cartels, specifically the Sinaloa cartel, and how they've turned Facebook into a key part of their criminal operations. In today's world, criminals don't need to meet face-to-face to run their operations. They just need a smartphone and an internet connection. The Sinaloa cartel, one of the most notorious in the world, used Facebook to communicate with each other, plan drug shipments, and even brag about their luxurious lifestyles. They shared photos of cash, weapons, and high-end cars, portraying a picture of power and control. At first, law enforcement had a tough time connecting these online activities to the cartel's illegal operations. But as more intelligence came in, the links became clear. The cartel's use of social media was dangerously effective, allowing them to coordinate activities, hide in plain sight, and stay one step ahead of the authorities. In 2016, law enforcement managed to arrest several key members of the cartel and take down important drug routes thanks to information gathered from social media platforms. What started as seemingly harmless Facebook posts became the evidence that brought down one of the most dangerous organizations in the world. The story is a reminder that even in the world of organized crime, the internet can be a double-edged sword, both helping and hindering. The Brinks job heist, using public information to plan the perfect crime. Now, let's take a step back in time to 1952 in London, where a group of criminals pulled off one of the most daring heists in history, the Brinks job. While social media wasn't around back then, this heist is a great example of how criminals have been using public information to plan high-stakes crimes for a long time. The robbers studied the routines of the Brinks armored trucks and employees, gathering information from newspapers and other public sources. They used what we now call open-source information to their advantage, which is exactly what modern-day criminals do when they gather intel on their targets through social media. By studying public information, the robbers knew exactly when and where to strike. On the day of the heist, they dressed like Brinks guards and entered the vault undetected, walking away with £2.7 million, a huge amount of money back then. This marked a pivotal moment in the evolution of crime, showing how criminals can gather intelligence in ways that were ahead of their time. Even though social media didn't exist back then, the use of open-source information shows just how far criminals will go to gather data for perfect execution. The 2018 Netflix Bandersnatch hack, social media scams on the rise. Let's dive into something a bit more modern. The 2018 Netflix Bandersnatch hack, where cybercriminals used social media to pull off a massive scam. These criminals exploited Twitter to create the illusion of exclusive content related to Netflix's interactive movie, Bandersnatch. They encouraged Netflix users to sign up for fake offers and claimed access to secret features. By exploiting the power of social media to spread information quickly, they built a sense of urgency and convinced unsuspecting users to click on malicious links that stole their personal information, including credit card details. These scams are a reminder that criminals are finding new ways to take advantage of social media to exploit people. As more users fell for the scam, Netflix eventually took action, but by then, the damage had been done. This incident highlights how even platforms meant for entertainment can be turned into tools for deception and fraud. Social media has become a prime target for scams and cybercrimes as the internet's reach continues to grow. The 2020 New York City looting, Instagram as a coordination platform. During the intense 2020 protests in New York City, social media played a significant role in organizing looting sprees. After the tragic death of George Floyd, protests erupted nationwide. However, certain groups saw an opportunity to loot stores in the chaos, and social media became their tool to coordinate the criminal activity. Platforms like Instagram and Twitter were used to share updates about stores being targeted and even post real-time locations of high-end shops with minimal police presence. Looters used hashtags like #lootingNYC and #NYCProtest to direct others to stores that were vulnerable. Some individuals, who weren't originally involved in the protests, jumped into the looting after seeing these posts, taking advantage of the situation to steal expensive merchandise. Social media became a tool to organize and ensure quick movement, allowing looters to stay ahead of the authorities. It was no longer just about protesting. It became about exploiting the chaos, and social media acted as a digital highway for this criminal activity. The widespread damage from these actions was immense, and the role of social media in this event shows just how powerful digital platforms can be when criminals use them to their advantage. If you thought today's stories were jaw-dropping, just wait until you hear the next one. Social media has clearly become a double-edged sword, helping criminals plan and execute some of the most daring heists and scams, while also serving as a tool for investigators to crack down on crime. From bombings to drug cartels, criminals are using Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter in ways that law enforcement never imagined. So, the next time you scroll through your feed, remember, what you post might not just be for your friends to see. It might be something that criminals could use for their own gain. If you found today's video eye-opening, make sure to hit that like button, share this video with your friends, and subscribe for more insights into the world of digital crime. You won't want to miss what's coming next. Stay tuned, hit the bell icon, and thanks for watching.